what a response that was from Loud. They take things equal, which means we will go the distance and see map 3. I'm your host, Yingsun. I'm back here with Mimi and HyperX. Did we maybe believe a little bit the comeback was real?
I really did. Sentinels nearly pushed us all the way, but Loud, I mean, they started that first half looking incredibly dominant. Their protocols on this map look incredible.
I mean, to be honest, it looked like two different teams. Obviously, Loud being the headliner here, a massive swing back into Icebox, but a couple of concerning rounds there from Sentinels, considering what we've seen them really dial into on Split.
But they started being defined by Loud's retakes on the defense, and that's where this team absolutely thrives. I think, in particular, the way that they're setting up to play these retakes on that B site were really impressive. Here's a few of these rounds to take a look at, right? This team just having, I feel like, really good synergy on when they're bouncing between these pieces of utility, right? It's that first stage coming in with the dart, clearing back sight, and then they're really leveraging this harbor utility to set up cover for the planner and fight deep in these post plants and force Sentinels to lose, even when they have a comp that's built to win these post plants with a ton of mollies.
Yeah, and I think actually this is the example we saw where we got a little bit of a react from Zekken afterwards. But I mean, you say Loud retakes, there were a couple here that Sentinels almost just completely forgot the timings on it. Talking about, you know, some of the mollies to buy time, run down the clock a little bit, but the big difference between these two teams is Loud's ability to demonstrate this on both sides.
Yeah, let's take a look at those post plants in just a moment as well, because I think that's the round you meant, Mike, where I think he was saying something like chill with the molly.
Yeah, chill with the mollies.
A bit too early.
I mean, there were two examples that almost felt a little egregious, criminal, that they lose those post plants.
And remember, in a game this close, those were the rounds that were make or break for Sentinels losing the map.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the one, I think it was round 3 was the one that Zekken did have a little reaction here, but it just felt like everything gets dumped at the same time when they have everything. Like you said, this is a composition built towards finding clean entries, minimal utility invested on the way in, forcing Loud back into a 5-man retake, which looked fantastic for them, but this one, Sentinels almost just gave this away.
Yeah, and we really build up how good the protocols are, how perfect Sentinels look on a map like Split, but on the other side, I mean, remember, this team has had to play a ton. Kaplan was saying they've had to show everything, and I think we start to see that a little more on this map, like this reaction from Zekken.
Calm the mollies.
Yeah,
really
I mean, it's exactly. You can watch this back. You see another example as well. But yeah, round 8 was another one where it's in terms of the plan, the initial plan coming into the round, it's executed to perfection. Loud play into it perfectly. Sentinels are set up for success, and it just seems like, I don't know if people are just jumping the gun a little bit. There's a little bit of misinformation being spread internally within comms, but yeah, a little bizarre to see considering how clean their protocols were on Split.
We went into this hearing that that kind of between map interview from Kaplan, where he said the team is really good at kind of finding the right energy, knowing when to calm down, knowing when to heat up, and I think we saw that on display here, because it went from that, you know, Zekken giving some feedback, some of these post-plant rounds that shouldn't have, falling apart, to in a second half, Sentinels looking absolutely revived and pushing us all the way to overtime with great retakes of their own.
Yeah, you can't help but feel if it was just 1 or 2 of those post ones that win their way, maybe it wouldn't have even gone to overtime. And they won both pistols as well, let's not forget. But let's talk about Les a little bit as we move on to map 3, because again, on that map, he was so impactful, so crucial to keep them in it.
I mean, we said ahead of this coming in, Les is usually the superstar on Icebox, and another one, add this one to the collection, because just individually this time and time again, in the right place, the right time, and he delivers. Back against the wall, it could be a 1v3, he could be solo anchoring sites, he's just constantly delivering for Loud.
Yeah, that's the thing that really stuck with me, right? How good he is at getting a kill as anchor and always getting away.
Yeah.
It's insane how much just survivability the man has, especially when he's holding down towards that B side. He's always getting a frag, falling back, and then using his mollies really tactically to be able to set his teammates up when they're playing into these retake rounds. He's such a star, and he implements into the team perfectly.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Sunset real quick, because these are the agents select for that. What do you make of this, Mike?
I mean, well, back to the default, basically rerun of the grand finals, to be honest. But obviously, you're going to see this is the map where we see the Phoenix come out once again. I have questions still about this composition, but it's the way that they apply it. We did see some better showings of proactivity, but I'm still not completely sold.
I think the strengths of this comp for Loud on defense is fighting for extremity control.
Yes.
Using that breach, using that Omen line control to set the Phoenix up. They also have great ults to cycle through and win out these rounds. But Sentinels, their strength, second half is going to be retakes. This first half, their comp is actually really strong at shutting down that extremity control. Expect a lot of early battles. This map's going to be important. Only one of these American squads get that guaranteed spot in the top 3.
Yeah, Loud, they've done so much already to push it to here. Let's see Bren and Saito if they can get their revenge.
Revenge would be fantastic for this Loud squad. I mean, they could be hunting for it off the back of the regional finals, but it's a hard task ahead of them. Still heading to Sunset, especially with Sentinels making it as difficult as possible for them to get it over that final hurdle. They have to go to OT for Icebox. There's chances we could have seen it just end in a 2-0 for Sentinels themselves.
Absolutely possible, but I got to tell you, Brent, out of all 3 maps that we had in the pool today, the one I'm most excited for is this here, Sunset. Because even though Sen won last time they matched up, I think Loud are a dangerous team to go up against, especially in decider maps like this. So here we go into the pistol. 3 players from Loud grouped up towards mid, and this map might end up playing out a little like Split, where Sen want to be cautious on the attacking side and bait out Loud into making the play.
Really in a util, got to be ready though. Dart doesn't reveal Zekken.
How does that not reveal Zekken? There must be
a bit of geometry maybe?
Yeah, just a little safe pocket in the corner. But that really looks like a preset plan, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
To insert Zekken here behind this segment of the Viper wall for him to be able to maneuver later on.
Thanks to the presence of it with the door shut down.
There.
And Sadak is watching it.
It's actually 2E's really pushed up over towards A that I've got my eyes on at the moment. Just jiggle in this corner. Like I said, on Split, the Loud compositions require a lot of jiggling without the Sentinel.
Here's the flash being sent flying. Lucky to not die. Sadak running and wading away, backwards, running and gunning with the frenzy. Only had 4 bullets left and he still managed to land that shot. Left. So play disadvantage here for Sentinels, get themselves the site. Will be the plant on top of it, but what is the call after the fact?
Loud have so much utility on rifle rounds to be able to deny plants from going down. They don't have as much to work with here.
Barely missing. Flash pushing them away there. Paranoia was bad, yet still they face it with the guns. Now Sadak's all the way behind them. Dizzy, tap onto it. It's going to be alerting the attention of these Sentinels players back and around, but they have so much to deal with now. The push and the pull of these Loud players is just too elite.
Well handled there on the pistol for Loud. I was watching the way that they dismantled EDG, and one of the big things they were amazing at was watching for the lurk through mid. And Sentinels on this pistol tried to do something very similar. They insert Zekken deep up mid, create a distraction elsewhere, and try to get value with Zekken creeping through. Sadak is always wary of that kind of stuff. And here, Sen forced to try to fight a bit more aggressive in the post plant. Just couldn't quite find it. Just got squeezed. Having said that though, with the kills that Sen got online, they're looking to try to force into the next.
I feel like the money's good enough.
And they got quite a few kills. I mean, 3 kills plus the plant. It's not a bad buy.
What direction do you take it into? Looks like mid, the initial goal, slow and steady.
This is a real gamble though. If it doesn't pay off for Sen, they're going to give Loud so much momentum in terms of the economy, the ultimates. You know, QCK might well have the ult online at the end of this. He's gone and picked up the ult orb on A.
Breaking the door with the pistols. Trying to avoid notifying Loud that they have forced up into this. Dizzy wide with the flash. It's all connected together. QCK has to respect that one, just backing for now. Drone doesn't clear
it. Didn't clear Zekken again. This spot is such a blind spot in the way that Loud are playing mid. That's wild.
There's major chances for Zekken to just, again, creep his way in there.
But like I'm saying, Bren, EDG tried this kind of setup where, you know, they cause the distraction and get a lurk. And Sadak or Kawanzi just shut it down every time.
40 seconds, barely. Just drifting away here. Boombot. Use the flash, all in conjunction. Now to Dizzy, all the way through market. Nothing to really stand their ground, but Les is still going to try and do it otherwise. ADS firing them down as well. The bullet tag's just slowing them ever so slightly. Enough for Sadak to get that one, but a plan. Now down here for Sen, no pushback from it, so they can start to play this post plan, but do they really want to do this? Just with the stingers. It's like an awkward one to try and play into, especially when Kawazin has almost all off his util. A few more seconds left, and he will have the fault line, but there it is. Sends out the Aftershock, out wide, forces Celtics, no kill. Paranoia used in response to this one, and a second flash sets them back up with a deep smoke. After really forcing Loud to push forwards into this one, a tap onto it again. Stunned up inside the smoke, damage done. Kawazin still lives on 21 health. Defusing now, Sanak onto half. Has to be dealt with, has to be brought down. Sticking it through, and no damage, not enough. Oh, with the stingers. That's barely scraping through.
Sadak's on the defuse. He got headshot by a stinger, and he just tanked it.
Yeah, did not care.
He just shrugged it off. And look at this. You see the stars sprinkling up around his head. He's got full confidence in the rest of the team. It is so difficult to cover the diffuser in that situation when there's a flank coming from Market and TenZ throws that smoke. You just kind of get stuck inside of it. But wow, Loud now, having navigated that round and all the danger it posed, are going to be set up quite nicely at the beginning of this.
Doesn't really matter about Divide too much. 2 players spotted from the cam. Fast is the call here for Sentinels. Looking for a couple of kills, but out wide a little bit too much. Celsius and QCK. The target you really want to be prioritizing these kills onto when he gets his ult online, which he already does. I mean,
yeah, he already had it.
For it.
And John's just looking to do what damage he can. But Loud's economy is going to be looking good. Their ults are starting to come online too. So the gamble that SEN went for, it's difficult to assess in hindsight because we're only seeing it having failed. But really, there was a lot of danger there in round 2. There were possibilities for them.
Yeah, you think if it works out, listen, SEN got on the other foot when it comes to the ult cycle.
Yeah.
Start building them up ahead of them. They have the economy on their side, but
simply not the reality we live in, though. And that's the first time that SEN have gone down early in a half. Remember, they won the pistols every other time across Split and Icebox. So this is a new situation where Loud are the ones able to develop some even footing for themselves. Dizzy just to see whether anybody's trying to contest into mid.
And interestingly enough, I mean, 2 years has opted for the operator. There was a deep dart set up earlier, so he's got this deep line down into A. He's going to be giving a lot of mid-round information again to his team. Does have to worry about 1 or 2 of the angles, though, being swung, but they're not going to expect it. Yeah, look at it.
No way.
Walking straight into it.
Leaning on his history as a duelist player there, Tuiz, and he's absolutely finessed that. Does he anticipate TenZ being up top, though, inside the one-way?
Maybe a punish in sight here. 2 players left. Will the smoke fade in time?
This
waiting
is bizarre.
for it. It is bizarre. It's a flash. Repeat now. Out wide. What is that? Kawazin. He was leaping across. Paranoia. Tap from TenZ with the movement. Not enough bullets in the end. Still, QCK dropped back to 30 health. Now, heal himself back up. Could play into this one with the ult. Might even choose to do so. See if it makes a real difference here. But Sassy does have his ult back online. Picks up Prior, and here it is. The second round of things. Thrash. Spawn. Broken to pieces. Clear the close left corner, but still, Jesus, who does want to just try and take a fight there. John QT tucked as well. A lot to clear in this spot, and just walking right over him, QCK. There is that trade with the pop flash now. In and out and through, but still with a util in his hands, caught lacking and slacking.
But QCK did not go for the ultimate in that spot, right? So Loud still have it available to them into the next. They decided not to invest, thought they weren't favored enough, and have kept that. So the bonus round doing a little bit of damage, not too much. A lot of it coming down to that play from TenZ.
Oh, yeah.
His Omen on this map is so creative and flashy. It's wild. Well, I thought there was a good chance he was going to just pick up everybody there.
Yeah, looked like it. Maybe a few more bullets he could have done it, but
yeah,
he's just that guy when it comes to this map on the Omen.
So pretty classic defensive setup here for Loud with QCK and Kawazin holding over towards A. They do have 3 or 4 different defensive setups that they like to cycle through. And SEN trying to figure out which one they're going for is important. Loud also love going to the switch and closing the door in mid. It's something that they prioritize all the time, whether it's less or 2E's doing it. And you can hear it now. It's just gone down. That gives SEN some information.
Fault line.
Yeah, force out the fault line early. Somewhat early in the round.
Yeah. Trouble is with the door being closed down in her face. It does force SEN to just go back, double back, break it. Throw it in like they could be defaulting into a different direction. This
pause in the round
of a crossfire.
This pause in the round is really going to incentivize risks from QCK and Kawanzin.
You can hear it. He's lacking the info. He's jump spotting. He's punished for it.
I know exactly.
Tense has cleared out the whole of Elbow with his ult.
Or Theft as well, give that additional confirmation. Now the smoke's going to be dropped down. Play it down, will be the plant. Someone's getting themselves into it here with a player advantage. Now's the time to shine. Don't count Loud out too much just yet though. Grouped up together, nade. Ooh, it's a bit of a blunder. Can't swing into that one, it was anticipated for him. Paranoia in front of it, Sadak, he had to be the playmaker there and he was not. Drop down, now a flash of their own. Tens repositions on top of Jenny. Vulnerable, snake bite. Goodness me.
Everyone on Loud saving.
Yeah.
They just don't even want to get back into this. A blunder from Zelsis, sure, but Tens then anticipated that they would try to follow up on that, sent the Paranoia through, and was able to isolate the duel onto Sadak. SEN have got enough players who understand the rhythm of the game and can make plays like that to try to turn situations in their favor. And that early economical advantage that Loud had to work with, it's getting chipped away at here.
It is. I mean, this is
really
essentially... I mean, two of the players can't be mine.
Yeah. And look, just seeing that on the replay again, it's such a large punish onto QCK. And it's all due to that freeze that John Cutie calls into the round. They force out the fault line, and then they freeze everybody, group up A main, and look to try to punish the info peak. It's so similar to how they were approaching their split attack side with the real slow, patient game. At some point, Loud need info on defense.
That's when the punishes come through. Different combination with a Util being used. This time, Dizzy up in the air, flash through into elbow.
And it's all fake presence. As Sentinels quickly, after going for their default utility, group up on B. They shouldn't be too worried about B main with the door being closed.
I'll be looking for an orb on Zelsis. Or online, we'll be able to go for the B pop. Or not. Just avoiding it.
It's not as important against a Cypherless comp.
Yeah. It's true. Now the nades and flashes do go flying though with a satchel play. Sets up second deep into the angle. Decay damage kicking in, almost getting brought down himself. He's on 60 health. He's going to be a thorn in their side though when this retake starts to come online for Loud.
Yeah, he's very isolated.
Very isolated. Smoke to play in. Wants to try and get in and rule that angle over the top. Now a reflank from mid, but already it's traded equally.
The timing actually here from John looks fairly good.
Yeah, he has to potentially get a move on, but it's up to the rest of his team, I think, to
He might
dissuade
catch
and
the
push them
Phoenix
back.
out.
Yeah, Paranoia's there, and he does catch it. QCK just alive no longer. Deep cam round the back. Loud are left really scrambling, looking for options, and they've decided to take the fight. Force him to win. Tens wins that. Get out of here. Still no tap on Twitter. Pressure's mounting, incredibly so. 2 years facing with all the kills. You're joking, but the pressure too much.
No. What a bonkers round.
What is that?
What an absolutely ludicrous round. Loud did such a good job of putting pressure forwards into B main. That's where most of the post plant on B is going to come from, is this battle about who can dominate B main control. And Loud really did a great job of that. Being able to, I mean, they should have been able to catch Tens earlier.
Let's go.
But the flank timing coming in from John, and Tens and John buying so much time, ending that round in such a weird fashion.
Yeah. Bizarre set of circumstances. Be hitting a bit of a repeat here for Sentinels.
Unless is looking to challenge B main early on.
Holding the angle, but actually, Fuel going to be fading. What is that? Just pre-aiming, anticipating it for seconds. So tight to the angle there.
Very confident too.
Necessary kill for him. He's not having a great start to this map, but let's get back onto the board with that one at least.
Kawanzin went and took the ult orb over towards A, so he now has the Rolling Thunder online.
Second, an initial tap, but now going to be sticking it for the plant. Does have his ult online now for it. Here's the Rolling Thunder. Back into them. Showstopper to use. There's a bit of a reaction into this one. And second, his whole goal is to really slow this one down. TP dodging out of the way. On top of the box, they're going to expect this one to drone. We'll see it. Tags him up. So eventually, Tens will be spotted into this one and done spot. And QCK through the wall, favored for it. That's the wallbang angle on top of it now. It's an interesting fight to be taken. John QT turns it into a 2 versus 2. 2 tagged up by the knife, but just a tap onto the head. Spots it now, Zelsis. So much more in this position. Sadak feeling frantic in nature.
Does he have it?
I don't know. I don't know. Did he get onto it in time?
It's so close.
Oh my goodness.
These rounds are coming down to fractions of a second. And despite John's best efforts, Sadak's able to win that one in the 1v1.
No way.
A little bit more patience from Zelsis would have done it. Oh, gonna be kicking himself. You can't offer Loud opportunities like that. You can see Sadak wasn't even sure.
Oh my. With how tightly contested these rounds have been, I mean, the economy's taken a bit of a tumble. Some weird, dodgy buys across the board.
Kangzin and QCK dominate A main to start this round out. That allows them to build up towards the Phoenix ult. Second and Tens are looking to try to explore mid again. They haven't done this in a while.
Hello, ult to try and fake the presence over towards A, maybe even pincer some of these players. And yeah, they're just barreling all the way through into mid. There's a nade! Watched it! Zeltis still here. JohnQT though, they're just trying to dominate this one. This one singular position. They do control A main. It's throwing a bit of chaos into the mix. In through the back of the side, just spots the elbow. Just spots the elbow. And Tens looking this way, that way. Didn't know where the players are going to be coming from. Sassy, last one left. Could have been granted one extra. Gets the one, backs out. 50 seconds in the round.
It always gets me listening to the Brazilian fans chanting against Sassy. It just seems so wrong. He's in a very difficult situation.
9 bullets, didn't opt to reload, didn't want to give away any sound cues.
If he finds a timing to separate individuals, maybe he could get something done. He doesn't have to be anywhere near the plant. Everyone on Loud is so grouped.
They're going to make mistakes. They don't think he's there on the angle in time. He's caught himself into the 1 versus 2. Oh, slow line here for Sadak, but he doesn't really find a time to use it, but the dart reveals all. Sassy has to pull up an absolute miracle. 5 HP drop down, backing away. Now wide and sprayed them through. Sassy, a beastly performance against the former team, silencing the Brazilian crowd.
That clutch is like a dagger to the heart of Loud. Unbelievable. I've seen Sassy get these before when he was playing in Americas. It's all down to him playing the Gecko. The fact he can be so far away from where the plant goes down, his positioning is just immaculate in that situation. Loud are not thinking about it.
Sassy as a player, we needed to see a big step up. He was Norden 6 when it comes to those first kills to first deaths last map. Wasn't having a good game. Free fire with a knife, less lucky. Relatively unscathed, all things considered there. Just backing away from the rifle. Being rained down. Massive round up. Still left reeling myself. Flash clearance, snakebite to respond.
And Loud are going exploring through mid. If SEN back off here, thinking that it's a B stack because of all of that utility in their face, they may end up running into danger. John's watching it, and they do still have a trip there. But in terms of anticipating 4 players, Tens.
Cleared, now crossfire. Set up forward of no theft. Everybody scattered to the winds. Loud realise it. Okay, we've been found out. Got to back away now and just try and flood back into this. Do some economic damage. So, util flying forwards here. Not enough to push away the plan though, so still spike down and out. Oh. Hello, QCK. No turn on the fire. He's still alive here. I think there's too much danger.
It shouldn't be dangerous, but when the Loud players hit shots,
just never know. Tap. QCK, hello. It's rattling their heads now. Already 2 taken, stricken off the list. Thrash has to be used. He popped the ult. He popped the ult, man.
He got caught by it, though.
Just trying to time it, yeah. Detained up into the corner here. Potentially winnable, though. Now, man, it's looking more likely. Finally fades away, and he's back into it, but here it is. The follow-up. With all the rifles online.
He doesn't have the time.
My God. It's an effort.
It's unbelievable how close these rounds are getting, though. You know, but one team's got an enormous advantage. They've got rifles, they're in a post-plant position, and yet it still feels like any team can take it. We've had some rounds go down to defuses with a fraction of a second left on the clock. We've had a 1v3 played by Sassy.
We got it! Don't care, we got it!
Exactly. That is going to harm the economy, but not in a way that has immediate effects. But it's going to keep a lid on Sen's economy getting out of control and going to allow Loud some opportunities to maybe play some anti-ecos later on. But 5 out of 6 of the most recent rounds have all gone the way of Sentinels after Loud got off to that hot start. And to be honest with you, I'm not mad at all at the way that Loud are playing, because think back to Sassy's 1v3. Okay, in order to get into a 1v3 situation, Loud had to play that really well, and they did. They collected on the mid play. They got themselves into a player advantage. They just lost out because there's beasts on the other side of the stage.
There's no player on either of these rosters that doesn't deserve to be here. Everybody capable of stepping the hell up.
And speaking about that, when you look at the scoreboard, QCK is the player in position to do the most of that. It's Les actually who we haven't seen as much from. Usually, we're expecting Les to just be hyper consistent, finding his moments to have value, even though he's playing the Viper. With this composition, he does end up being pretty stuck over towards B. And Sen have been playing so grouped up, he hasn't really found those opportunities. Different defensive setup, though, again, being run here from Loud as Kawanzin and QCK move their way over the B.
Just calling up at the back of it now. 2 years. This time, standing strong, just trying to brave the onslaught as well. Russia players now ready to push him back and away.
Zels is getting the ult online, can counter Sadak. You can see Sadak getting set up to go for the ult. Oh, they just rip it anyway.
Okay. Send it out wide. Smoke's not even propped up yet. Zekken in position, breaking. This for the Tart. Now a plant. It's the next layer of this one. Sentinels, do they have anything cooked up to try and fight this one further?
Normally, Loud are going to throw in a lot of utility early for plant denial.
Hunter's Fury. Molly's going to be used towards the back of the site. Hunter's Fury. There's the connection. Zekken falls. Couple of beams of that one, but still not being dislodged from these positions. Tent up top. Familiar angle. Has the ult now for a classic reposition. Ult into the back of the site. Could be anyone's game on a knife's edge. Every single instance. Tent sticking the... Oh, not quite already with the ult into the back, but he has been cleaned up. 2 years there. It's a 1v2. Taps it. Gets Sassy, doesn't give him anything, still bides his time, waits it out, and now it has been fully drawn down to the final moments. All the kills going Loud's way, but not the round.
Same again. Same thing again. The retakes, they are effective, but just not enough to be able to get over the line for Loud. It's Ten's position, I think, here that is the magic. Look at him, the way that he's able to wiggle out and avoid being traded because he's got the pillar to dance around. It looks lovely. The way that Sen are setting up these post plants is dealing with a lot of what Loud are going for. And when you saw Loud demolish EDG here, one of the things they were doing on their A retakes was throwing in a lot of plant denial, making it uncomfortable for EDG to get into good post plant spots. Well, they can't do that when Zelsis is ulting them.
Shadows traveling. Possible. Util cut away. All these close rounds just going down straight to the wire. Again, economy. It's not good.
No. And how many times have we said that? It's just been a running theme. Normally, because Sen get out to such a hot start in every half, this time, they actually have to grind their way back into ecoing Loud. And off the back of a 1v3 from Sassy, too.
Ridiculous recovery. Oh, there's danger there, though, with these Loud players. They're opting for a stack over towards B. 2 years again. Same spot he's been playing in time and time again. Really disrespecting them, though. Just holding the angle for some util. Needs to... Is this a paranoia?
Yeah, I mean, what is the timing of this?
I don't know. I mean, he's okay, he's found something. Maybe just hearing a footstep, but none of the flash is connecting. Gives up the space, just seeking to delay as long as possible. Sentinels, though, looking likely they're going to have an open sight. 2 years is really trying to make this feel like there's lots of players here. Nades forward, so they just spam the box in the common angles. They do deal with him, and finally the flood defense is here in time, but can Loud do anything about it? Beautiful dart. Everybody lit up here. Even with the stingers, there's danger. Danger in abundance, but still with the rifles. Holy.
It's Tens again, man. You can't get away from him. Playing that post-plant position over towards A-Link, swings around, gets 3, and saves the rest of his team.
They needed it.
They were all barreled up in sight. It looked over.
Bunker and down. That's a terrible post plan to be playing against.
Yeah.
Or playing in position, at least.
Well, you see how much more difficult it looks for Sentinels when Loud are close by, able to flood defend and throw that utility to put pressure on them before they can get into post-plan positions. And Tens bails them out. Top of the scoreboard. Doing things fantastically, playing from similar spots.
Deep cross-map knife. Be landing over towards Market.
And that's going to give them a good idea about what the defensive setup looks like, because often QCK is going to be on A.
So a good indicator now. Just waiting for the right time to strike. Thrash. Regenerated the util. They cut up the side, actually, through the back here. There's a detainment into mid, but won't be any follow-up. At least onto that one. QCK should be alive as well. He's got some backup from the rest of it. Plan now down, and it looks like this might be another funny round.
Yeah, Loud are playing really heavily for backside B control, which is going to allow them to get players in, flooded.
Hit it as well. Just to play for it. QCK does have his own ult now. Run it back. Finally initiated. He was suppressed in time, but just let it loose. Be seeing if he can hunt down a few of these kills. And yep, Zelt's caught. Util out in his hands. Wasn't really quite aware of that one. Dizzy tagging away. Zekken spammed. Dart. Here we go. Only 3 players left now. Loud. Fast on the approach. Aftershock there, but a quick TP into the corner. Paranoid order Util layered on top of each other, and they just cannot do anything. Scintillating, sizzling away, spraying them down with the rifles gained. And that is Loud up to a 5 round. 7-5, you can't fault it. Plenty of chances.
It's an awesome half. So many of the rounds could have gone either way and were decided on the tiniest of margins. But I think Loud really figured something out there in that final round. The pit to be able to flood into back B site and the way that they dealt with the aggressive players forwards was lovely. It was anybody's game though. And I think Loud need really another pistol to be able to get back into this.
Yeah. It's hard to say, but so tightly contested. The exception of being our first map, but it has just been back and forth we go between these two teams. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Sou o Cauãzinho, sou iniciador da Loud. Senti muito bem, a EDG é um time que, pra mim, tem um dos melhores players individuais e acredito que o deles não estava no 100% deles. O Kankan é um player, é um star player e acho que ele não performou tão bem, então acho que o principal motivo disso foi a nossa individualidade hoje, que estava muito boa. Então acho que depois que a gente corrigiu os erros contra a GNG, a gente estava bastante confiante já. Acho que a partida contra a FPX deu uma confiança muito boa pra gente, então acho que a gente esperaria que ia ganhar assim deles, mas ninguém esperaria esse stomp, né? Cara, a gente não esperava isso, mas acho que nós tivemos um plano de jogo muito bem executado pela nossa parte.
30 seconds. They have no map control. They are just looking to take it to the elbow, the flash, perfect. He hasn't killed anyone yet, but QCK, he just slaughtered every member remaining of EDG.
Eu acho que a Sentinels é um dos melhores, ou se não, o melhor time aqui do campeonato de Madrid. Cara, acho que o diferencial deles é que eles jogam muito bem como equipe. Quer dizer, tem o star player que é o Ziken, mas eles jogam muito, muito bem como um time e acredito que todo mundo pode performar muito bem lá e ganhar um clutch ou talvez levar a partida sozinho. Rapaziada, muito obrigado pela torcida, quero agradecer muito principalmente a minha família, meus amigos que me mandam mensagem no WhatsApp, que me ligam. Estou muito feliz que a gente conseguiu fazer isso e classificar para o playoff. Só quero pedir vocês, fãs, que continuem confiando na gente, a gente vai dar o nosso melhor e vamos tentar conquistar esse título para casa. É isso, tamo junto.
Praise for his opponents. I mean, talking all the talk there about Sentinel's team play, and it goes to show as well. I mean, even praising Zekken as their star player. Now, Zekken's at the bottom of the scoreboard right now for his team.
Yeah.
And yet still, Sentinels are holding a lead 7-5 when they had an absolutely horrific start to the entirety of that half.
Yeah, and actually, I think the story over the last couple of maps has been not so much Sen getting the advantage at the beginning of the round, but just having really strong ways of being able to close things out. Tens has been amazing in those spots. And so we go into a pistol, which is insanely important, especially for Loud, I think, to be able to get online. Complete contacting up. Zelsis picks a mid-round timing. Knife destroyed. Could be anybody there.
Tens back and out. Still open towards his back. Okay.
So close to getting punished there.
Very close. I mean, Les was quick onto the angle. onto that avenue of opportunity. They want to flood out now, facing with the bodies. Paranoia backing away, QCK!
Oh, that's unreal.
As blind as the fadeaway. Damage has been done definitely to Zelsis here. Single shot will do it. Touch close. There it is, straight to the chest. Brings him down. John can't do much. So Loud with that pistol round, you got to think. Back in charge.
Yeah, looking good for it. To have not won a pistol round the entire series and then get both of them in the decider map could end up being crucial. No way of knowing yet. But SEN are certainly not going to force into this one again. On the defense side, not as many kills. That's a ridiculous kill, though. That is a ridiculous one. But the fact that QCK was the tip of the spear is going to start building his way up to the Phoenix ult. And Loud started that with such a contacting approach.
Willing to give anything away. The main benefit of it being that Loud, they have tons of util left saved for the big site hit, especially over towards A. Difficult one to try and get through. The clear through elbow, lots of corners.
I think Loud have got the read now that this was not a heavy A setup. They are just charging their way forwards.
Yeah.
As soon as they don't meet people early, they realize that they've essentially got a free plant off.
It's a good post-plant position as well. Just for the spike to be dropped down, laid down. Snake bite.
It looks like SEN are going to send utility here, rather than trying to save it.
See if they can take an early fight. And you're right. I mean, could get costly. Normally you want to be saving these pieces of util, but clearly Sentinels thinking, feeling like it could be winnable, but not with the gun disadvantage.
No, I mean, keep an eye on the SEN retakes on A once we have rifles online, but that was very easily cleaned up. I think that's going to put people in positions where they need to go for light armor. Well, it could end up being important against the Bulldog and the Stinger. You know, the fact that they ended up investing there in the utility to go for the retake. But I think SEN are going to be confident in those kind of rounds once guns are online. Their comp can just util dump spots on A. It's very difficult to hold on to post plants. That was most of the metagame, actually, that we saw in the last time that these teams faced on Sunset, was how they approached the A retakes.
The bonus round now to be cooked up for Loud. They've got plenty of danger in it. I mean, that run it back earned. QCK, this guy is frying. I mean, he's 20 and 10 currently. In the top. Another score at the top here, though. Tap and a face. That contact play style, finally punishment in place.
Yeah, but I mean, what a spray from Zelsis. Yeah. They're trying to punish the orb pick up there, and they both get sprayed down. Targeted the Paranoia onto a spot that TenZ is often liking to play, but it's second up there this time. In market. The trip not broken, though. They know it's fake market pressure. Yeah, this is a weird one.
No way.
Did they spot a hint of 2Es? Was there that question mark on the minimap?
Maybe.
Yeah, pinged out, I think.
Yep, it is. Leaning this way. Celsius. He is a low player, but he decides to take the fight anyway, not set up onto that angle with any form of util. Sassy now, he's in a one and done. Dart has to be broken, and he's revealed his position now. This is problematic. Still usage. The util now. TenZ right behind them. Sends out the Paranoia, and there is that swing, and that's a spike going to be dropped down. Most of his team nowhere near here. Les is the last one standing.
This flank from SEN has worked beautifully, but the Loud players barely reacted. I don't think they knew where that Paranoia was coming from. It's left Les in a 1v3, in a much worse position than Sassy was when he was able to get the plant down.
Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds left in the round. It's an impossible scenario.
10 seconds left.
And Les will just be trying to win this one while the rest of the team in silence scratches their head, wondering where it all went wrong here. That pick onto Zelsis puts Sassy in such a difficult position, and the flank from B bailed him out.
This might be Sentinels just getting a bit of a read, I think, in terms of how Loud want to play and set up into this one, of how many risks they were taking on this round against the bonus round, right? You think about it, pushing through into B main,
yeah,
hard flanking through the back,
30 seconds left.
giving them all that information.
But I think going for flank plays like that just plays really nicely into Loud's composition, which lacks the Cypher. Anytime you can get aggressive like that, yeah, go for it. Why not? Loud are not going to have that information, and they're going to find it difficult.
TenZ not to be dislodged from this spot. There's a Phoenix flash in his face, though. Won't be punished and dropped down. Paranoia now. TP, foul line, everything. The kitchen sink being tossed and turned and shucked at them. Out through market. Flash over the way. Ring around a Rosie. Zekken can't escape.
So now we get to see Loud in a post plan. We saw a lot of it from SEN. Here it comes.
Paranoia, yeah. Thrash as well. It's all being laid out on top of one another. Fast. Cover play. Shock into the corner was utilised a little bit earlier, but everybody tucked into main. Do have the orb for this one. Actually some mollies as well. We're going to see how the util just reigns supreme into it. Dizzy over the top. Anything to try and latch onto this spike and get the defusal started.
Is there time for the Thrash?
I don't even know. I mean, listen, it's going to be 1 second left. He wants to use it, but again, somebody needs to get onto this one. Already detained. Into the side, into the corner. Where is the time pressure? Hello! Finally, Wingman down, and the rifle's there. Has to be bodyguard duty! Spraying them all down! Wingman! He's been stopped in his tracks! Half tapped, sassy, no more to room, no more to work with.
And this game, more than any that I've seen recently, has featured just everyone dead on both sides kind of post plans, where things are coming down to time so much. I mean, both teams playing this kind of more passive setup over towards B with the post plan, but throwing a couple of people in aggressively to draw out early utility. And so teams are getting stalled in these spots. If Wingman had not gone down there, we could have had a very similar situation to Icebox, where little bro's just sat inside the pit, just tinkering away, cutting the red wire.
Yeah, it's a good heads up from Loud, though. They get the 3-kill spraying down now. I think most teams might just end up stopping the spray. Yeah. Thinking that they got everybody. All the targets are going to be on it, but no, Diligent.
I wonder, does this knife incentivize Sentinels to go for the B push again? Is there going to be some kind of trigger that gets Sen going aggressive on the map? You see that John is moving around his Cypher setups. This time he's got a cam in mid, so they don't have to play that particularly. You can just rely on the camera. A trip for market because Sen were playing B main kind of aggressively to start the round.
It smells like a B retake.
It does. And obviously you don't want to be hard anchoring the site against Kawanzin's Rolling Thunder.
No.
But also Loud would love to save it if they get the info that it's a B retake setup.
Hello, how's that orb going? Straight up into the sky.
Not where it's supposed to.
Oh, Rolling Thunder now though. You feel the presence, now they're going to be using it. Tens, P's, and away, back to the corner actually.
Not away!
Even deeper angle, he wants to try and take the fight to them! Flash, forced to set it up, that's Zelsis. Dynamic duo just weaving in and out, and the Flood defense this time reigns supreme.
I love it. I think this map is set up so nicely for B Flood defending. And the way that Tens just eats the breach ult and still is able to survive and get a kill. Yeah, they just assumed, okay, nobody would be silly enough, nobody would be whimsical enough to take a teleport into the corner while stunned up. You're dealing with Tens.
He goes for it.
He's taken the brain of Angel and Redgar and combined it with the skill and impeccable timing of... Dude, I don't even know.
I mean, himself.
Yeah, yeah. Who's got it like he does?
Yeah. He's stylish, man. He's stylish. But on a knife's edge. One of the only rounds, really, that just goes entirely the way of Sen. We see them now just having that lead. Knocking the money back down here for Loud.
Yeah, this is devastating. Once Sen start building up a little bit of momentum like this, you could see them pulling away.
Right here. See you on the other side.
Loud would love a thrifty here.
Seen him do it. Sharp with the Sheriffs. As he dealt with flash to follow up as soon as that knife gets the confirmation. No one peeking off of it though.
Can't use that.
All the noise in the world being made really out towards Elbow. Now Zekken should be able to get himself out of there with a satchel. In fact, Molly didn't clear him. Oh,
what a shot.
That's nasty. All up, taking a pause into the round here off that initial kill. Just seeing if they can pull any of the SEN players around the map.
It would be a little difficult to retrieve this rifle. Might not be something that is possible to do. The smoke, though.
It's just Sassy who's holding the corner. And like you said, there's a smoke now.
Yeah, now it is possible to go and get that.
SEN calling for a re-clear potentially of their own. Wingman. Rue gets the acknowledgement.
Yeah, somebody's in elbow and also pushed up close. That gives you a good idea it's going to be a re-hit. Tens takes the fight.
Tens, there's a fault line follow through there. Zelsis close to the corner. Got to get the punish. Through those shots now. They're worried about the TP close to the corner here. Zelsis heard that sound cue, but it's all just feigns and fakes on top of each other. There's only 25 seconds left. What do you go for here? I mean, a pause into the play. Going for a re-hit.
20 seconds.
Going for a re-hit.
Celsius is in a committed position.
Really committed. It's the first phase coming through. It's just the players of the Sheriffs, and they're all going to be falling now. Fully crumbling. Less. One with a rifle makes a decent job, a decent go of it, but now 2 more rounds for the lead here. Sentinels.
Loud look a little lost in that spot though, man. That was a bit of a disappointing round. I wouldn't be surprised to see them take the timeout, and I think they have actually. But they call a pause in the round there, right? On their attack side, but there isn't really a threat that they could be going for the hard rotate, because John's still got up all of his Cypher utility. He's got a cam deep in B main, he's got a trip for market, and the players over in A-Link know that there's nobody lurking mid. So what exactly are SEN going to be afraid of? Especially when the wingman catches contact, right? This is...
Call, we go. Don't be scared. Let's go. Good.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, SEN building up that confidence, making sure that everybody's on the same page.
Vibes Merchant laying it down.
Yeah. So this next rifle round, it's a perfectly timed tactical timeout. Because this next rifle round is going to be extraordinarily important, pivotal in how this map goes. If Loud lose it, after investing ults, which I'm sure they're going to go for, they'll be dropped back down to an eco, and SEN are basically, at that point, just on a coronation march.
Oh yeah.
Right? They're going straight up.
The upper round 2 of the playoffs.
So this is a must-win for Loud.
Put everything into it. Luckily, a few ults being earned. So that run it back, I mean, it feels like QCK is never without it. Been earning it at such frequency, all the kills he's been getting, the plans, the orbs funneled into him.
But has he been able to find value with it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Seems quite offhanded in terms of the way that they do approach to use it, but every now and then you might see it still. Sassy holding the Dizzy.
Okay, this time they wait out the knife for the start of the round from Celsius. Right, so Loud have to start a little further back, but they don't give away that there's 2 players over towards A. The stun for them to try to take a little bit of space. And look at John's setup again. Cam for the mid lurk, trip for market. Loud have not been breaking these.
And again, acknowledgement there from Dizzy. Stray shots missed him. Fired off the warning shots, and I know there's somebody, at least one player lurking out towards A.
But they're not scared of mid, and they're not scared of market, because John's utility is still there.
Right inside the smoke, I mean, they're setting up for a pop flash play here. Yep, they can hear it. The door being broken down, they're going to try and fight Tooth and nail for control of it. The nade down. How does Second get 2? That is ridiculous. QCK forced to bodyguard his own spot there. Reviving.
And it goes down to a 3v3 in a really weird fashion. SEN have committed pretty heavily to the B side of the map. And so Loud have actually managed to find an opening here to go for a post plan.
30 seconds left.
The smoke was in the way at the top section of mid. Second might already be just close with the rocket, but no, has to respect it, wondering if they could be lurking in that potential avenue. So a free plant here, Loud.
And some players in potential positions to play a nice post plan too. You don't have to be worried about the initiator utility from SEN, which is the main part of it. But obviously there's still danger with the paranoia, with the showstopper. Loud get info that there's nobody on the flank.
Yeah, exactly, with that dart. Get around now, and that's a Hunter's Fury to add even more time pressure. Ult committed and stuck. Tens his forwards, he wins his fight. That is ridiculous. Still with a paranoia, now the showstopper. Seeking to commit this one. Where these players might be, but the first tap at least forces out the ult. Rocket flying. Again, clears the 1, but on top of this corner, on top of the box 2 years, has to reveal his hand, spraying it through, guarding, blocking, all the bullets, Second, sticking, and he's won the round for his team. Despite the heroics of Sadak, not enough, barely enough. Look at that, 0.37.
It's wild how close these rounds are getting.
Oh my God.
But also, how on earth are SEN even in position to do that? Tens sticks the ultimate, gets caught by a player. QCK is shooting for like a third of a second before Tens even realizes where he's positioned, still flicks straight to his head and opens things up. Even when Loud have openings,
Good job, Zach.
SEN are still finding their way through. And I said that was going to be the important round.
Exactly. Here's the money. Dire Straits. taking a loan out from the bank if they'll even give you one here. Aftershock at a top cam position used early. That's just a trio. I mean, clear out John QT, who's had that cam at the top section of mid. And Loud have been given control of market, control of mid now.
Yeah, this is a very different flavor to the round. The problem is the weaponry is just so advantaged towards Sentinels. Loud have finally got a better macro idea.
Still might be some danger.
Might be too late.
2 players spotted, 1 tagged up here. Shock darts now and the squeeze is online. QCK is wrapping around. Molly there. Oh, hello. Trip. 10's lit up entirely. Let's loose that paranoia, but that one way, less than ideal. That was John's.
Great crunch in B main though from Loud.
Yeah.
Sen couldn't figure out how, which direction to go in, I guess. And Tui's is here ready to pick up Zelsis. All good.
Okay. All good.
And what a recovery. The Mastercard Thrifty coming through could not have been a better timing for it. By all rights, that should have been Sentinels favored to go up to series point. And instead, they're going to take a tactical timeout here to discuss what went wrong. And to me, it's very clear. They finally lost market control. Loud actually went and took that space on the map that otherwise John's just been watching with a trip.
Main control, the pivot from Sen. Yeah, you are right. Losing control of that one. So Sentinel's going to be using this timeout now to discuss precisely what went wrong. Potentially putting more of an emphasis onto mid. But again, Sadak, world-class caller this guy is. No slouch as well with the aiming department, at least for this map. He's going to be potentially even expecting that. There's layers to it.
Yeah. I think from Loud, though, this timeout is also going to serve them. Because they've been struggling to deal with what Sen have been throwing at them. And I think it is possible that that eco round has given them a serious clue of how to adapt in the game. Sadak is normally so good at coming up with those adjustments late on in a map, late in a half, late in a series. He's not one of the guys to run out of ideas. So let's see what he's brought to the table coming out the back of this timeout. Looks like Sen want to try to take the game to them, perhaps. We can see them pinging out the mini-map over towards A. And Zekken set up for an earlier fight, something he hasn't done a ton of.
We're waiting for the acknowledgement of the knife to go for a bit of a flash play to Dizzy, all combined. Dart broken.
One suppressed.
One player tagged there.
And it was Sadak, who does sometimes play alone on the opposite side of the map. Just to make it feel like there's presence where there isn't any. Sassy gets ult online.
It's a big one. Pre-firing, hoping on the shot there onto the market trip, but no dice, still remains up.
So John continues to provide great info to his team.
Hello. Oh, Zekken go for the repick there with the thrash. He's punished.
Yeah. Zekken's been neutralized, to be honest. As much as Cowan Zine was bigging him up at the halftime, in the segment talking about Loud's, Sentinel's strengths, they have managed to neutralize the star player of Sen. But they need more. They dodge the knife again. This is going to give Loud the perfect timing to go into Sassy. Can he pull out some magic?
Jumping around. Drone hears it, has to respect it now. It's running away just to get the hell out of there. Doesn't break the drone either, so it clears out the site entirely. No command. Let loose, let rip. Zelsis spreads it wide now. Cross onto the site. Not going to be letting them use that util plant. Stuck here by Kawazin. 10s onto that high ground approach. He has found value with less being removed. That's one of the star players going pound for pound, just removing this one. And a call is made to try and fight this one. Sassy taking it straight to them. Man in tow, and he just caught the backside, clips Sadak out towards the back of the head. Flash through, running gun with a Spectre, ult denied, 2 years, he's miles away. The knife gives them every single bit of information they could want. Skipping a hop, dodging round, surely! No way! Sen up to 12. Oh my!
Another round where every player on Sen hits the deck and they win it anyway. I was looking at the minimap the whole time at Tui's positioning. He lurked his way fully through B main, walked all the way into Boba, going around the world, and he was way out of time.
I believe that straight in catch.
Yeah, it definitely looked like bullets were headed in Ten's direction.
Can't believe it.
But it's better to be lucky than good, and damn if Pens isn't both.
And this is it, potentially. Precipice of defeat for Loud. QCK, sliver of an angle, just holding it ADS, but he does not get what he was seeking. Now running away, Les. These matters into his own hands. Yeah. Look at this deep lurk.
These are the rounds where Les just decides, all right, my team's struggling to come up with an idea. I am going to make the play to win.
It's deep. Goal, Celsius. Wasn't ready for it. Peeking it wide like that, just slowly. Les did manage to vacuum up that space now. There's going to be that re-pick. Sassy just trying to tuck himself into the corner here. Needs some help from the rest of his team. Hunter's Fury trying to collect these kills as well. They're trying to face from Spawn. Run it back there. Actually brought him down with the ult, and Sassy in this entire time somehow has stayed alive. Tucked to the corner, got a smoke in his back to try and help him out, and everybody's going to be facing him here. Flash in his face, spraying through. It's all praying. But this time Loud. One's on top here. 5 alive. John QT might not be long for this world either.
Probably just going to save. I mean, look at the economy of SEN. It feels like SEN are in control, and yet you look, because they've died so many times while winning these rounds, they don't have an economic cushion to rely on.
Yeah.
So John keeping this weapon online, it does end up being really important.
It's common the entire time. You can see it in the scam.
Yeah, it's like a mini timeout for him, right?
Yeah.
To discuss what's going on. And really, the big difference that round is that Les just found an opening up through elbow. I'm not sure exactly how he's managed to find that read, that SEN had nobody playing there. Perhaps, even if people were playing there, he was happy to take the fights, just believing in himself. Does John save this?
He needs to rifle. And 2 years, I mean, he's just making a mockery of him. Jumping through, knowing he's low enough.
We are going to be headed into,
oh my God,
the final few rounds here of the match, with Loud favored to bring it to the final round, and maybe even some OT afterwards.
One enemy remaining.
It's crazy the adaptations that these teams are willing to make, and even if it isn't a team-based thing, these players are willing to make. Look at this gamble. SEN gambling over towards A, because that's where Les found the success previously. Sadak's already swapped it up. They're headed in the opposite direction, trying to keep it safe, keep everybody together, make sure they can trade out low ecos.
Stampede there, hearing him across the floorboards. Util in the world as well, pointing into that direction, and a fast follow through from SEN. They're going to be chasing the noise cues. Hoping to try and flood in time, but there's nothing to push back this plan. So Kawazi gets into it now. Even the ult online if he chooses to expend it, but probably not even necessary.
I mean, a win here for SEN is forcing out those ults, I think.
Yeah.
I'll say that. They could close it out here.
See? No one to break, no one to deal with it, but it's a flash using running and gunning.
They could close it out here.
Okay, drive by, going wide. One player falls, a tap now forces out the snake bites. Have to be utilized here. Kawazin still has the ult, surely. There's no danger, surely he tends. Doesn't just TP, but he does straight into them, into their faces, tapping and spraying all the way through. Rifles. Save the day. John would potentially like to get away with this one, but it's going to the final round of regular time anyway. Might as well go down with the ship.
I believe for a moment there, when SEN had their weapons, and we're just running into backside, overwhelming people. That's pretty good awareness from Sadak as well. Tens is difficult to see in that spot. And this time the rifles are able to find their mark, and the spam is good. They use the pit. A timeout taken. A timeout taken. Right before the last round of regulation, Kaplan hits the red button.
Tension could never be high, could it?
Both teams just set to simmer. Kawanzin has a huge ultimate online, and Sentinels are wary of that. I'm not sure what kind of adjustment Kaplan wants to make towards the end of this. I would imagine that they want to use that little elbow passage that Les was able to find for them in round 22. But to be honest, a lot of the game plan has still been working here for SEN on defense side. John's been able to find so much value from this Cypher setup. You know, if you hit an Unbreakable, there aren't actually that many tools with Loud's composition to be able to get through it. There's obviously the trips or, the shocks or an after shock, something like that. But Loud have not been meticulous in making sure all of that is eroded away. Tui's has bought the op again. on the attack side this time.
Yeah, just trying to slow it down, and why not? You have the money, you have the cash. Maybe even just anticipating some kind of adjustment from Sentinels here, but it's everything. Tossed into the mix. 1 round to decide it. Does the series end? Does it get totaled? Or will there be that continuation of play? Loud have a chance to fight back.
Very early dominance with their utility over towards B main. Paranoia used off the rip from 2Es to make it feel like they're taking early B main control. I think trying to prompt out some kind of aggression in A main and see if they could punish it. Maybe even hoping that Zek and Osasi would play for the ult orb and they could get that. It really feels like they're trying to trap them going for the A ult orb. Zek and Osasi are not taking a risk like that to throw away their chance of winning the match and going to meet Gen G in the uppers. So no dice on that early trap.
The deep drone not broken. You can feel it palpable in the air. I mean, thick with tension. Tense. Tiniest of angles, tiniest of chances, but he gets it. Ulted up, stunned up, will be brought down in the end, so the trade is online here, and a call is made for SEN to scatter. Backing away, playing for the retake here. Sadak is going to go for the plan, but he's ended up just throwing it to the side. He's going to give it to QCK to get that run it back.
Optimizing, but also giving SEN an opportunity to throw in some util early on. They're not going to go for the flood defend, though.
Yeah, suppression fading. When is the time to strike? Here it is. QCK lets it rip, breaking the util. Dizzy. Oh! This play gets caught into the wall there. Unfortunate with it. Still watching, holding for the flash. Anti-positions played. Spam into the box. But it does buy them critical time. Running their way past this one. Are they going to anticipate? 2 years! Nails them to the back wall of Link. The upper second shot goes flying wide. Smoke and disengaging. Back and away. Celsius seeking to clear this one out, but again the time running against them. The rifles have to sing true. They have to ring true, but it will not happen. Overtime once more, and Loud. They're desperate for it, man. Crawling.
These late adjustments on Icebox and now on Sunset to be able to get into overtime have just been marvelous. And this, with TenZ being able to get the first kill onto Les to start with. But that punish at the back of the Rolling Thunder was so important. Remember what TenZ was able to do to them over towards B as he teleported into a corner, didn't get away with any shenanigans like that this time. No ops being bought in OT. So no craziness just yet as Loud swapped to the defense side.
That's right.
Remember, SEN were trying to set up these mid lurks quite a lot and threaten it.
Too much threat behind it though. Now that dart's going to be fading away. SEN happy to wait it out for the initial 10 seconds. Smokes are propped up.
Yeah, and going for their defensive setup where 2Es is the player holding aggressive over towards A, so they frequently leave 2Es alone in these spots. This time though, he's got backup from Kawanzin. Dizzy off the cam contact. 2Es trying to find a timing to re-paranoia and take position on the A line. Doesn't catch anybody. It's the same kind of thing again here, Brent. Trying to set up this mid lurk off A main distraction.
Yeah.
But I swear, Loud are always super aware of stuff like this.
Deep Smoke did pull Kawazin away. He might be able to react in time though to help 2 years out of a couple of pieces of util. Now time is going to become an issue and a problem. Flash through over the top. 2 years just bumbling into the walls there. Lucky that he didn't pay for it with his life, but he backs away and now the call is being made. Rotations abound here for Loud.
And now they're going to be in position to try to send util to stop this.
Satchel. The pathing over to the top. Plant. Actually going down here, but sort of util. After shock, breaks it. 12 seconds. Time really against them. Snake bite drop down. Loud. This is them with a chance to really gain some ground here. Swinging wide to punish. Kawazin, he understood it as a win con and just decided to take the risk anyway. 2 years, fake the TP back, and now they want to fight this one into the back of the site. Double face, no util. Sentinels barreling through, finding their own timings. Gifted with it, spamming through. Sadak left in a 1v2.
And second making the wrap around to A-Link.
Sadak sticking this one half onto it, half onto the defuse. He's bought himself a little bit of time, a window potentially, but he just needs a kill, and he's not being given it. He's not being given it. No one will give him an easy one. And face together, it's Sentinels on 13.
They have pulled that one back from the brink. Loud's identification that that was an A hit, and the fact that they got players ready to throw utility to stop and put pressure on the plant, that almost won them the round.
Last player standing.
You saw Cowan Zine just barreling over the top of the mosh, trying to end the round instantly by denying the plant. But not everybody on the same page, and it gave Sen an opportunity. They're up on match series point.
The tiniest of differences can snowball out of control with these rounds, and you're right. Match point, map point, series point, whatever you want to call it here, it's Sentinels in that driving seat.
This time, John Cutie hasn't put a setup for mid control as well, or mid information. So he's got the cam in market, but he is going to need to rely on other people watching the top of mid. So that's going to weaken potentially the A side of the map. So they're kind of cheating here, going for a very aggressive, strong B hold, but a weak A, playing retake A. We haven't really seen Sen in this match pull off the retake A superbly, but it does exist.
Tense at this angle, man. I mean, a high-low position. You can't account for the two spots that he could be peeked from. The flash in his face was not turned in time.
Doesn't make a footstep, though, so they don't know exactly where he's positioned to punish him.
Moves his way out. Cam broken there from the shutdown, I believe.
They're going into the heavy B setup.
Into it, indeed. Potentially into the jaws of defeat. Zekken, he's found his slice. Sadak removed, and now confusion. It's a frantic play from Loud. Which direction did it go into? The one-way stopping them. Ults, and the util has to be used now to clear it back through, but the spike's been dropped down, and time against them entirely. Pop flash play, 1-4, 2 to stand, and 2 potentially to fall. 2 years and less together now, tapping it out, but there is no chance, there is no hope. Sentinels, inevitable.
Sen look incredible here. Dominating on the first map and squeezing through in overtimes to take their appointment with Gen G in the upper finals. Ooh. Loud pushed them.
Oh, they did.
But Sen were resilient the whole way through with huge performances coming out from multiple players. Sassy's 1v3, absolutely instrumental in getting them into a winning position on this map. John called a great game the entire time and was fragging too. It's not over for Loud, of course. They are no strangers to taking the long road in tournaments like this, but Sen, for the moment, on top in this regional rivalry.
On top. All the recent times, and of course, I mean, you're going to see the respect being showcased on either side. These two teams are now deeply familiar with each other. But Sentinels who have earned their spot now. Second round of playoffs. Match up against Gen G.
And what an awesome one to look forward to. I think especially, just a head-to-head that I'm instantly thinking of is Tens v Karen.
Oh, yeah.
Because both of them with outrageous aim. Tens the more flashy, I guess, mobile version of the Smokes player, but
Karen with the movement.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is he's just skilled through and through, picked up straight from the rank queues. That is going to be one hell of a head-to-head.
It really is. And Sen, all of that time being able to, you know, get 2 playoffs as the #1 squad after taking a really difficult route through the Swiss system, paid off in this game. You really do need to prep for these regional matchups because the teams know each other so well. And I think what we saw with them being able to capitalize on Split to such a heavy degree, and then on Sunset too, it was really working. And it was different things that were working as well. We didn't really get to see that A retake coming out with all of the flash dizzy combos.
Yeah, these teams are constantly evolving their game plans. They're not going to stay stagnant like you're saying. They're constantly going to be adjusting what to look for here, but so tightly matched between both of these teams. I mean, Sen barely able to get it over the line in that OT. What an absolute world-class series as well. I thought map 1 I mean, we might have just been chalked, man. Yeah. Early finish for the day, but no, wasn't the case as well. And we're just getting the players ready for an interview down on the stage. If you're wondering why we are yapping, professional yappers, but listen, we don't like to do it for too long.
But it's going to be an interview with Sassy, talking about, again, another match against his former team. And I do think we're set up for this to possibly become the preeminent rivalry of...
I agree.
Maybe of the global Valorant circuit, but certainly the Americas circuit as well.
Definitely.
The chances of a matchup happening later on in the tournament are also entirely possible. They don't count Loud out at all.
Yeah.
But both of these teams playing their heart out today. And SEN also showcasing that even on some of their weaker maps like Icebox, they're continuing to add to their playbook, to the strat book.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, closely matched on these maps as well. I mean, just fantastic. We're going to be going through all the flowchart points, I think, at this point. Listen, where's Sassy getting down? Has he got mic'd up? It looks like it, maybe, potentially. Chances.
I'm interested to hear what their perspective is, though, because the SEN players are not used to necessarily being tournament favorites, especially for a guy like Sassy. He's experienced last year where it was a little miserable.
Absolutely. Well, that being said, let's send it down to Dry. Who's down on the floor with the Verizon post-match interview.
Dos últimos mapas muy intensos entre Sentinels y Loud. Two very last intense maps between Sentinels and Loud, but Sentinels takes the win. And I'm here with Sassy. I want to hear it for Sassy. I was listening to all the fans. They were cheering for you the whole time. Y para mi primera pregunta, para Sassy, quiero saber más que nada, recordando que este es un rematch de Américas, ¿cómo se sentía el poder volver a ganar este rematch y qué ha cambiado desde la final de Américas hasta ahora para seguir avanzando y mejorando y viendo la evolución que está teniendo Sentinels? Sassy, I want to ask you here, this is the rematch for Americas, the grand finals, and you still get the win once again. Tell me a little bit about the evolution, the process that has been since that grand final to now guaranteeing that top 3 for Masters.
I'll be honest, this win is all about my coaches. They did a perfect job on adapting, especially on split. And even the Loud didn't play split this tournament, they did an incredible job about like predicting them. So yeah, I feel like this match is for my coaches for sure.
Dice que todo el crédito se va hacia los coaches que trabajaban bastante duro en entenderlos, en incluso las cosas que no se sabían, las cosas que no eran reveladas por el lado del lado, de poder sacar esa información y ganarlo, así que es todo el crédito para ellos. Hablando de ese split, yo quiero preguntarle más que nada, primero, ¿cómo tiene un split tan bueno? Y segundo, ¿por qué los equipos lo siguen dejando abierto? I know you mentioned split, and I have to ask, how is your split so good? And also, why are teams still leaving it open?
I mean, yeah, we knew that Loud has their ban on Lotus, so we were already expecting split. This veto was like pretty obvious, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, it's John. John is like the big deal on split. He always has like good reads, and every player is like comfortable playing each role. So yeah, our split is like a comfortable map for us.
Dice que la decisión de mapas o la decisión de que iban a jugar a split ya se sabía porque se conocían muy bien el permaban de lo que era el Lotus de Loud, pero que aún así también el crédito se va para el lado de John Curie, que conoce muy bien el mapa, que trabaja con él alrededor de eso y con eso consiguen la victoria del mapa una y otra vez. Ahora, para mi última pregunta, escuchábamos un poco más temprano a Munchkin que decía que se quería enfrentar en contra de lo que es la escuadra de Sentinels. Ahora se va a hacer realidad, se hace posible en esa semifinal del Upper Bracket. ¿Y cómo se sienten en contra de Genji? Munchkin early said he really wanted to face you guys, and you know, it's not the grand finals yet, but that match will guarantee the grand final spot. So how are you feeling for the match against Genji?
I feel the same way as Munchkin. We are pretty excited like to face Genji, honestly. And I've faced Munchkin before in Crazy Raccoons, and I know that he's in a better team right now. So yeah, we will see who gets better.
I like that. Nos dice que piensa igual que Munchkin, que también está muy emocionado por lo que va a hacer esa partida en contra de Genji, que ya se ha enfrentado él en contra de Munchkin antes, pero que ahora lo ve que está en un mejor equipo, así que vamos a ver qué es lo que va a pasar. Esto es todo lo que tengo en la entrevista, Sassy. Thank you so much, and I want to hear it once again for Sassy.
Oh, massive congratulations to Sentinels. We go from one legend to another. Sassy over here to Zelsus. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll let you have a couple of moments. Yeah.
Everyone buy the Sentinels bundle. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Did you buy the Sentinels bundle?
Like I said, I'm going to buy the event winners.
Oh, this event?
Yeah, which he's already saying is them.
Yeah, me too.
It's already us.
Yeah.
It's already us. Listen, people said they'd buy if we made playoffs. People said they'd buy if we made Madrid. We've
I haven't
done it all.
extended yet.
Yeah.
It's always been the event winners, so.
All right, whoever wins champs, you know, I'll buy the
You can't roll that again now.
Whoever wins champs. But yeah, congratulations, Zalsis. I could see from your emotion when you guys eventually won that map. It was kind of, it felt like elation and also just a lot of energy. 2 overtimes. How was that? Was that tough out there?
It was kind of stressful, yeah. Obviously, I think we threw Icebox, so going 3rd map, I mean, it's called Sunset for a reason, but it was kind of stressful. Like, when we won, it was like a relief. It was like, oh my gosh. So I'm just happy we won, yeah.
Well, I found it really interesting earlier. Kaplan was saying there was a couple of timeouts that come through to kind of like, I guess, reset the vibes, get the energy back on track. Today was really the first time we've seen like a few, I guess, player reacts where there's a little bit of frustration as to the plan not being executed. I think it was round 3 on Icebox when Zekken was calling for everybody to kind of chill on the mollies a little bit. That was really interesting because I think it's the first time that we've probably seen that sort of reaction. How was it through Icebox if you feel like it was kind of a throw?
I mean, I wouldn't really say it's the map itself. I would say it's kind of like how we're going into these matches. Like, we're kind of now in like crunch time where it's like, all right, if we make a mistake, like, we're calling it out. Like, we're just nipping it right there and then, which is the frustrations, or like, you know, us saying it so like eager, like you heard Zekken on the round 3. Like, we just want to make sure we don't keep making the same mistakes. So us as a team have talked and we're like, all right, if we make a mistake, someone call it out. And like, we talk, or like, and it's a match. So call it out, we move, we fix, and then we just, you know, keep communicating. That's like the biggest thing for us.
Yeah, let's talk about Sassy real quick, because I swear that he just turns up in every big round. Every single pivotal round that we've ever had in this series today, he's at the scene of the crime. We have a quick round to show you, I think, from Sunset. This 1v3, what was going through your mind?
I figured he was going to win this. And Amin, John even said he was going to win this as well. Like, Gustavo's so clutch in these situations. He's just so calm, as you can see. Like, I mean, he's a champion for a reason, right? So, like, this is just easy for him. It's just light work. And he's very comfortable on Sunset, so I'm happy I have him on my team.
So no backseating whatsoever whilst that was going down, no?
I mean, we're just little things like bullets, like if we hear their footsteps and he's like dialed in on their crosser, you know, when someone's in a clutch. But, I mean, he handles himself pretty well. So.
Yeah, this was played to perfection, yeah.
The crowd as well. I mean, I know Josh and Bren were talking about it. It was kind of weird to hear the crowd go against Sassy. They were like chanting all the Brazilian chants at him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a bit. It didn't feel like, it felt kind of weird, like a different kind of timeline we were in.
Yeah, he's kind of a traitor. Yeah, he's kind of a traitor. I mean, you know, I'm glad to have him, but it's like having him against his own team type thing.
They're lost, right?
Yeah, they're lost. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of traitors, me and HyperX, we're both from EMEA. I've heard some very choice words from you, Zalsis. EMEA 0 team region.
Zero team region. I mean, you know, Fnatic not coming here is kind of a big deal. I mean, they ran the same strats as last year, so maybe they can fix that. But no, all seriousness, like, I mean, EMEA is really good. Like, the fact that like they had 2 like really young rookie teams come here and like show out like they did, like it could have went either way. But yeah, 0 team region, EMEA.
He's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
He's actually just not wrong.
One of those situations where we should just keep pretty quiet, to be honest.
Yeah.
But out of this conversation.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you know who we should talk about though? The IGL, of all IGLs. The fragging IGL. John today, I know you've always been really impressed with him as well. Mike, what did you think of John?
I mean, today, one of the ones I want to ask back about was the post plant on Split. Like, I think probably one of the cleanest clutches we've seen at this event so far. I'm not sure if you remember the plant on B side.
The 1v2,
yeah, back down into main.
I think we have this round, by the way. Let's just bring it up so we could show
If we could roll it, yeah, I'd love to know what was going on on the comms during this.
Oh, different one. He had too many. He had
too many clutches.
He couldn't pick him.
Yeah, too many clutches. He's just too good. Look at him.
Oh,
that's my IGL.
You stole his ace.
Did I?
Yes, you stole his ace.
As I should. As I should.
So, yeah.
You didn't realize he was on for an ace?
I want to win the round. I don't care. I've stolen his ace twice now. Twice. The one on Split, the ace pistol in Africa, and then this one.
Oh, 2 out of 2. Yeah. I mean, Mike, as an IGL, coming from John especially, how do you think, I mean, I'm going to ask both of you this question because it does feel like fragging IGL meta coming into this tournament.
It's gone.
Yeah, but is it back now? back
no,
now?
wait. What were you about to say? I was going to say
No.
definitely
Is it
the
back
IGL not fragging meta is surely gone because I think John Keith is definitely an
John's
example.
changing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, as well, there's maybe an extension to that question. All 5 of you seem to be able to deliver in individual scenarios. Is there ever, situations where somebody's really stepping up and kind of chomping at the bit to be that person to make the standout play, or is it kind of just a respect amongst all of you?
Like play, right? Not calls.
No,
Play.
Both, to be honest.
Amin is he's our early round caller always. He says what we do early unless someone has a really clear cut idea, they're seeing something on the map or something. But he really calls the early round and he gets final say, and I think we all respect that. But everyone kind of chips in here and there mid round, they do a lot of their own calling and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I would say he's definitely one of the best IGLs I've played with, individually, calling wise, everything. He's very calm. He puts in a lot of work, a lot of time. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with him.
His aim is crisp.
Yeah,
really,
he's looking
crisp.
absolutely insane this event.
Yeah. Speaking of something absolutely insane, you told us about buying the Sentinels bundle. You've been pushing this out there, but I kind of wanted to base this off of the actual classic. Does the skin give you the buff? Because if you take a look at this leaderboard, I'm sorry to report to you, Zelsis, when it comes to classics kills at this event, you're not number 1.
Those are rookie numbers, man.
Yeah,
those are rookie numbers.
You've got
I was number 1 kickoff, and look, HyperX is about to be eliminated. So
14's all he gets, right?
Yeah, so 14, he's gonna be stuck at that, and I'm gonna win the event. So I'm going all the way.
Oh wow! Do we then combine you and 10s? Is that how it works? Or
That is how it works. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's
That
not
is how
like
it
if you
works.
get number 1, we buy it.
No, I have to.
I don't know about that one.
I have to be number 1.
Yeah.
I'm the SEN bundle guy. I'm the SEN bundle guy. We have to be number 1.
You got to stack that commission.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop buying ghosts and stuff. Just rock the
Always
the
pistol.
classic.
Always
rock the
pistol,
classic
yeah,
and see what happens. And speaking of the next matchup, because it sounds like you think Loud are going to beat HyperX. Is that correct?
I do think Loud will beat HyperX. Yeah. I think HyperX are still kind of I respect them because they stick to their playstyle, they do their thing, but I think it only gets you so far. And I think Moniette's doing great player, I'm sure great guy, whatever, but I think they're missing Jing for sure.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, I think the hot topic we've certainly seen particularly the last week or so, is kind of what's the next step, what's the next kind of identity change for HyperX. Do you think that is enough of a hindrance? Because previously they've always just fallen back on when they can frag and they go forward, kind of death falling sort of gameplay, they can succeed at international events. Do you think it's different this time around? Do you think there's, I don't want to say that much of a drop-off, but do you think there is that much of a gap in terms of the HyperX we're seeing here in Madrid?
I think they could definitely clean up. I like how they play. I think it's very Valorant-y. I think it's very good. They're very skilled players, but I think they could have someone be like, all right, guys, we have the advantage. Let's maybe wait a little bit instead of all right, we have the advantage. I'm going to go peek 3 people because I want to. It's I think they could definitely play a little smarter. But only time will tell if they either make a change or want to change how they play, because they're all based off all vibes, right? So it'll only see if they do it.
Let's talk about your next match, because last year it felt like all you did was play against Pacific teams when you came to Locky, and you faced HyperX and DRX, I believe. Now you got to go against Gen G, and I heard that you were really looking forward to meeting Texture. You said a lot of nice things about how he's performing well. How do you think he's going to do, and also how do you think he's going to do up against Zekken?
I'm a big Texture fan. I watched them play their tournament kickoff qualifiers or whatever, and I'm a big Texture fan. I think that whole team is really good. But I mean, these are the big leagues, and they're all rookies here. So I mean, Zekken, Texture. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Texture's really good. He's really good. I think it'll come down to prep and team play, which I think both of us have really good team play, really good prep. So I think it'll be a really close series. Yeah.
Okay, I guess the follow-up to this head-to-head would be the Karen versus Tens discussion.
Ooh.
Give me some insight on that.
I mean,
thoughts?
King Tens,
yeah,
he's gonna show Karen what it means to play smokes at a big tournament. So I mean.
To be fair, in Karen's own words, when Tens won Masters, he also was not playing Karen yet.
Yeah, fair point.
So he's missed a few of the big titles, I feel like. Hey, maybe Gen.G, they might surprise you. But would you also agree, it feels like outside of you guys, Gen.G do seem like the other option that's the strongest team?
I definitely have like us and Gen.G as like, I think this is the final, like for sure. I think like, I mean, Loud, like whoever won today, I think I was gonna call the final, but obviously we pulled through, we won it. So I think it's like us and Gen.G for sure. I think they just look really drilled, really like well, like prepped together. Like they're really hungry. Like they're like, you know, Karen, rookie, Texture, I think is like really in his element on this team, you know? So yeah, I just think they're really hungry and like this is gonna be a really good series.
You agree?
I do agree, yeah. I think Gen.G have looked in fantastic form. I'm not sure, obviously, with the Loud Gen.G rematch, whether or not it's going to be enough of a bounce back from Loud. I think today, I don't know if you would agree with this, but it felt like more like facing off versus a familiar opponent, which is why map 2 and 3 were so closely contested, even with coming out with map 1 and having a dominated, well, very one-sided performance. I'm not sure if Loud have got what it takes to bounce back and beat Gen.G again.
This is the thing, though. Like, when they down
you can never count them out. That's the thing.
thing.
They have an asterisk next to the name every single time.
I mean, we're going to find out tomorrow. But before I let you guys go, Hypog, you actually had a question from like...
We're still running this.
Yeah, like a week ago, you asked the question for our next guest. So this is a question from Hypog, which feels weird that I'm asking him the question that you had, but...
As if I'm not here.
Yeah, you're not here. You're not here. What's been your favorite moment of this tournament from an individual? Like an individual pop-off, an individual play, what's been your favorite?
I would have to say my favorite is probably our first match, just because like it's been so long since I've played like international, like add-in Masters, I guess I'll call it, and then like doing it against Heretics, it just like felt really nice to pull like a really good win. And like we had a really rough travel coming here, so it was like to get that first win, and like that was probably like my highlight, because I'm like, oh my god, we did it, like, you know. So that was probably my highlight. Yeah.
What's great is you didn't notice the lower third there, and it was like, why did you pick Forsaken?
Yeah.
But I love the fact that you just breezed right past it. I'm not even paying that any attention.
Yeah.
I've just said PaperX going to lose the next, so no credit to Forsaken.
Actually, this is a good time.
I respect it.
This is a good time because tomorrow, after the second game, we're going to have another guest here. We don't know who it is. It's going to be a player from the winning team. So you have an opportunity now to look into the camera and instigate a little bit. Ask them any question you want. No restrictions. Go for it.
Forsaken?
Anyone. Well, it's gonna. We don't know who it's gonna be, so it's gonna be a player from a winning team tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I have to go with Forsaken then, because I just think, like, I want to play him. He's like quote unquote the best flexible player in the world right now. Like, I kind of want that title, you know. So I want to play Forsaken. He's obviously really good, really nice guy. But
I don't think you understood my question.
No, probably not.
That was on me. That was on me.
All right.
I'm gonna condense it. I'm gonna condense it.
I think it's time to sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2, condense it. So we have another post show tomorrow. We're gonna invite another player. We don't know who it is yet. Whoever wins is going to come back on the desk and they're going to answer a question. So we would like you to ask them a question.
Oh.
Any question you want.
PaperX were going to lose tomorrow's series, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we might have
You're guys are stressing me out. This is more stressful than the match. This is more like I'm trying to think of it. It's like, so I'm asking a question. Okay.
Yes, any question in the world. Feel free to instigate.
I got nothing. I don't know. I want to ask something like how does it feel to play with a lesser raise than Jing?
Wow. Okay.
I like it. A little bit spicy now.
Oh, that's very spicy. But we're going to take a look at the schedule quickly before we close everything off, because Gen.G will be taking on Sentinels in that upper bracket. And then in the elimination game, Mike, we have PaperX versus Loud. Are you in agreement with us as you think Loud are winning that and Sentinels maybe winning the upper bracket as well?
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Again, we kind of beat this point to death earlier on. I'm not seeing it from PaperX this time around. And whether or not tomorrow we then see some last-minute comp changes come out, I don't think they pass Loud.
I just hope that PaperX wins so they could come on the desk and answer
that question.
I need my question.
Now, actually, yeah, I'm all in on PaperX.
Now
I'm all in on PaperX.
Yeah, me too.
Scrap that.
Yeah, it's not like I'm ever not all in on PaperX. Well, thank you very much, Hyper, for joining me today. Thank you very much, Zelsis, as well. Have a good rest, and we'll see you back here tomorrow in that upper bracket. Thank you to you guys at home for watching as well. Make sure to come back and join us, starting with Gen.G versus Sentinels. And don't forget to what, Zelsis? Don't forget to what?
Don't forget to buy the Sentinels bundle.
Hey! We've seen this matchup before, and last time Gen G became the king of Pacifics. But this is a different stage, and a stage that HyperX have conquered over and over again.
Not two! Damage, but no kills! Oh, this has come back into a winnable scenario. Just need to hit the ball!
Yo, Adam is blocked! Adam
Looks like it's gone. An opportunity here at least to shut down the first and the second, but yet as well, Rockets on point.
One enemy remaining.
Position. It's a blind. Brilliant from Carroll. This would be exceptional. Time. Good luck to you and good night. What a performance for the side of Gen G. Done, and the follow-up, and he's out of ammo. Knife out, and Cameron wins. He brought a knife to a knife fight. Players on the other side, Showstopper, he should be dead. Actually, a very quiet start to this game and a reaction shot. Ah! I want this shit. Form nice means they know where they are. Take out is perfect. Saken there to help with this fight. Instead, something has to do it on his own, and again he finds texture. That's a big part of this take. There's no chance. There's no chance whatsoever. He had to stick it underneath his nose, and short of a big misplay, it was never swinging the other way. A consistent showing from the side of Gen G as they take victory over their Pacific comrades. It's on to the upper final.
These are two of the best teams Americas have to offer, but being here is about being the best in the world. And as it stands at this stage, it does feel like both of them have a great chance.
Okay, Zekin right there, vulnerable. Will he be able to get the damage? Of course he will.
Oh my God. Let's go, baby!
Close to the corner, cut to wide. Satchel through and over the top. Kawazin still accurate. The shot is elite. Kawazin on for so much more. John QT balls off. Steal! Sadak, it's inevitable.
Nice, boys!
That is one of the most one-sided maps we've seen. Plenty more action where that came from. Having a defuse from Sadak, pushed back and away, and a wide tip-tap and a face there just in time. Our players realise it. They're the ones who have to make the moves forwards. Kawazin! That is just disgusting. But you're up against Kawazin. John QT. Where's he pulled that one from? And well forward. It's messy. It's real damn messy. Luckily, Zekin is still here. Zekin it will have to be, and he doesn't expect it. They're up there. So 14-12. Loud.
It deserves a map 3 this series.
Fields or Sassy have to pull up an absolute miracle. King away now, wide and sprayed them through. The follow-up. All the rifles online. You have opportunity. They want to flood out now, facing with the bodies. Paranoia backing away. QCK.
Oh, that's unreal.
Spatial Naked 1, skipping a hop, dodging round. Surely. No way. Put it out, but there is no chance. There is no hope. Sentinels, inevitable.
SEN look incredible here, dominating on the first map and squeezing through in overtimes to take their appointment with Gen G in the upper finals.